What were you bullied for as a kid? A kid was chasing me with death in his eyes, so I put out my foot and kicked him in the stomach, causing him to barf on my leg. They called me Barf Leg after that. It was actually kind of an honor. My name is Kelly. I'm a guy. It was endless. I have an uncle Shirley. Needless to say, he is ripped. I presume from years of running and fighting other kids. The size of my eyes and nose. I grew into the eyes, but through grades 5-10 I looked pretty much like an owl. In grade 8, I got fed up with this bee mocking me. She came over and threw one of those chewy granola bars at me and said, "Here's your bird food, you owl." So I put my entire pack of gum in my mouth, chewed it, and used it along with the granola bar to make an amalgam of sticky nastiness, which I then sneaked up behind her and stuck all over her hair. She ended up having to shave her head to get it out. Extremely traumatic for an extremely self-conscious grade 8 girl with daddy issues, and I got suspended for a week. Totally worth it. Upvoted for justice. I begged my mom forever to buy me these pink, covered in sparkles Barbie shoes. First day I wore them, I was in the bathroom stall when 2 5th graders went in the stalls on either side of me and proceeded to mock my Barbie shoes. I had to explain to my mom why I would never wear my brand new shoes again. Stories like this make me unreasonably sad. For being adopted from Moscow, Russia, I now live in Canada. Many girls used to tease me for being different. My adoptive parents saved me from a life of poverty and misery. Those girls and guys can pound salt up their pound salt up their I like this. I like you. Welcome to Canada. Wearing the same hoodie every day my senior year. They even went as far as to vote me best dressed in our yearbook. I wore a turtleneck that day. I must see this hoodie. I was teased for being ugly. It's gotten better, but I still feel as ugly as I did before. Well, my Star Trek, The Next Generation lunchbox certainly didn't help. They were just jealous, or should have been. I'm jealous, at least, to eBay. I was bullied by the black girls for not being black. They were the popular girls in school, even though they were a minority. It was very strange. I was bullied for being black but not black enough. I was never really bullied, just ignored by everybody, which in my opinion is just as bad. Even to this day at work and in social settings, I am just a mass in space. The most hurtful things was getting hauled into the guidance office so my 3 friends that had somehow adopted me, I had a perfectly normal, large group of actual friends, could tell me I smelled. The counselor basically made them cut me down until they ran out of ammo. It was everything from I was mean, I read too much so I seemed antisocial, I smelled, and I acted smarter than everyone else. I skipped the next 2 grades 8th and 9th. After they left, I was bawling, and the counselor said he didn't think any of it was true anyway and then wouldn't let me call my mom to go home. Being a nerdy little twerp, looked like I was 8 until I was like 14. I have huge ears. I was called Dumbo and was afraid to wear my hair up to school. Girls with big elf ears is my weak spot, so adorable for some reason. I had warts on 7 or 8 of my fingers growing up. I am sure you can imagine the heck kids put me through for that. Still dealing with the nasty little buggers. I feel your pain. I was the weakest, nerdiest guy in my group of friends. Every day for recess in most of middle school, we would play dodgeball in the parking lot. Then these 2 buttholes would come into our game and start acting like buttholes. They would cross the line between teams all the time and would never go out when they were hit. Classic scumbags. Me, being the only one with balls, apparently, was the only one who actively called them out on it. But they were much bigger and stronger than me, so they laughed and laughed and laughed. They kept up this ashlery for about 2 weeks. They even went out of their way during the rest of the day just to torment me. Then one day, one of them made the mistake of smacking me right in the face with a ball. We had a no headshots rule, and not just a normal throw, but a really freaking hard throw, like he was throwing a brick, and these balls were hard. So, I started crying from pain and rage. They laughed even more. Then, small, nerdy, weak me went into Hulk mode. It was the day that I learned what a rage-filled adrenaline rush can do. It can give 2 buttholes black eyes that last for well over a month. is what it can do. I didn't even get severely punished for it because I explained that they had been bullying me for the past 2 weeks and I was just standing up for myself. I got off scot-free and the two buttholes got ISS for a few days. Man, I'd throw balls in people's faces 1,000 times over if I could go on a trip to the International Space Station. Lack of athletic ability, looks, and inability to purchase brand name clothing. I'm kind of glad they did it, though. If we stayed friends, I'd be stoned 24/7, sleeping around with every guy in my school, and have no self-respect. Ginger. What else? I really don't understand the ginger hate. For being not very masculine and unathletic, called me F and whatnot. They ended up being right. LOL. Apparently I'm gay because I don't like football. Combine that with my love of swimming, I earned the nickname of Sea Queen. 1. I was bullied for Reading. 2. I was bullied for liking the Beatles. 3. And poor. 2 was bullied for liking the Beatles. What? After Hurricane Katrina, I have to be a new kid at a school in Texas. I have to transfer from one school in Texas to another school in Texas. For PE, at my second school in Texas, I have to wear a shirt and shorts. The only shirt I had was the one I got from the first school I attended, which has its school name on it. Big mistake. I shouldn't have wore that shirt. I guess they thought I was representing that school and I was being bullied for coming from a different school. And then when they found out that I was from New Orleans, I was bullied for being from New Orleans. How your town got destroyed by a natural disaster and you lost everything dear to you. What? I have a unique name and so in elementary school kids would make fun of it a lot. That never really bothered me though, and so by junior high it had stopped. So my middle name is Louis and my last name is Gross. Lou is gross. I was made fun of for being smart and poor throughout all of my public school education. I once overheard someone telling his younger brother, "That kid is so poor his family buys their clothes at Kmart." I recently found out I was a bully in high school. Everyone in my group of friends would insult anything stupid one of us said pretty mercilessly and no one took offense, just joking around. I'd apply this in class as well with people from outside the group. People that I thought I got along well with in school, not tight friends but I liked them and everything, have since told me that they were really hurt and just laughed along to hide it. Pretty lame realization knowing some of these people hated me. I've always kind of wondered what bullies thought as they do stuff. Thanks for the insight. My kid was just asking this, since she's dealing with bullying right now. For my ethnicity, when I was in high school, grade 7, in my first year at a private school, I was often called Paki and Sanden by a few classmates, but one of them actually sent me a message on Facebook a couple of years ago, apologizing for the dumb, racist remarks. I started going bald at the age of 16. You can imagine how that went at first. I just rolled with it and now I shave my head. I was never really bullied frequently. I would put the bullies in their place immediately and that would be the end of it. I still remember one time in the cafeteria. I was sitting with some friends when I got hit in the head with something nasty. Turns out a kid at a neighboring table thought it'd be funny to throw a wadded up ball of chicken burger bread that was covered in ketchup at me. The whole table was laughing at me. So I reached down and picked up the ball of bread and walked to their table and loudly asked, "Alright, who did it?" while staring them down. They all just laughed and talked crap. "I'll ask again, who did it?" I said, as they start to look a little sheepish and nervous. One kid is laughing and really being a jerk about it, pointing at me and calling me a loser. "Oh, so it was you then," I said. I then grabbed him from behind by the chin, took the ball of nasty dirt covered floor chicken burger, and shoved it in his gaping mouth. I stuffed it in there until he started choking and crying. Everyone was looking at me in shock. One kid even said, after being shocked, "Holy crap, he didn't even do it, it was some other kid." I just looked at them and said, "I don't give a crap. I'll do that to every one of you," and walked away. Needless to say, they no longer bothered me or my friends. This is pretty much my plan if I could go back in time to middle school. I was made fun of for being quite tall and awkward and liking to read better than talking with other kids. It sucks being the taller than the teachers as a 7th grade girl. I was made fun of routinely for being black in middle school. I was almost literally the only black kid in the entire town. Small town Colorado, so everyone figured it was okay. Ironically, at the same time everyone wanted me on their sports teams, especially basketball and football. Nobody else was bullied for wearing glasses? I sure as frick was. For having a high voice. As a child I couldn't see what was wrong with it and could do very little to change it, and that led to being teased for being girly. Guess I showed them by kissing boys. My little Squidward. I was small, short, and awkward, and I was called all flavors of being gay despite being straight but not into dating. I was a small child, wore glasses, and had buck teeth. Oh, also being half Asian in a small military town, all white, I was the single minority in my school and family. Chinese father left when I was 3. I was also really shy to being with. Middle child, only girl, liked sports and GI Joes and wearing dresses. I don't think I fit in anywhere until I graduated university. So glad that's over with. Laser eye surgery, losing baby teeth, got rid of buck teeth, hit puberty, minority became exotic, grew up, gained confidence, got hot. Acne and being overweight. 1 round of Accutane and 4 years of qualifying for state swimming helped me overcome those obstacles. Being the fat girl, I worried about my weight since I was 8. My parents were poor and had to resort to feeding me mac and cheese and tuna and things like that. Cheap food. Oh, my mom put canned green beans in with the mac and cheese and tuna. Also mushrooms, tomatoes, and cheese in with the ramen noodles. Healthy food really needs to be cheaper. Being pink, and a mysterious concept known as the elementary school F. It was probably more to do with the fact I was a massive dweeb until high school. The pink was from sun exposure without sunscreen, which I never used unless I was outside for hours. Being vulnerable. Red hair. For being short and having serious anxiety issues. Suckers. Come to think of it, I don't really remember why I was bullied. I just remember people hating me. I was always that super awkward kid that never said hi back to people. You have been visited by the heckin' incredible chubba pupper of fresh trims. Reply with sick barnet pupper and never have a bad haircut again. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.